part, module 4 of SAIL-ESI program, that is ESI in endocrine research. And today is going to be something special. I promise you that, because both Avneesh and I actually burned the midnight oil trying to build something custom and something special for this program. And you are not going to disappoint you, right? So this is going to be something which which is going to be very useful to you. And it's going to be, like I said, something very special for you. I thank you all for being part of this journey. We had some extraordinary feedback. A lot of people sent me messages, met in person as well, who had very nice things to say about it. There were also a lot of learnings which we had from this, but it was a first attempt on something like this. It's never been done before with an organization like this. So we thank Endocrine Society of India for this opportunity. We also thank USP for being the pillar behind the support behind this. They've been so gracious. There are no words to say, no words to thank them. I think they've been very, absolutely, they've been fully supportive of the entire series. No questions asked. So I think big thanks to USP and Endocrine Society for this session. So this is what is there in today's agenda. Now you had the welcome address as well. Then, of course, we are going to go to the right in the meat of the topic. I'm going to introduce Dr. Avneesh again, and he's going to talk to us about how you can write a complete research paper using AI. It's going to be something special, like I said, and we have done this in workshops for the whole day. He's going to compress it in 1 hour. Even I'm not sure how he's going to do it. It's Avneesh, so I'm 100% sure that it's going to happen. And then we'll see some very interesting things. We'll see how we can potentially collaborate. We have all the stakeholders here, right, on this platform. We have Dr. Avneesh, we have USV members, we have other members of other societies also who are part of this. So we'll see how we can actually collaborate and work together to take this forward. So there are some ideas which I have, and I'm going to talk about it. There'll be a lot of questions from your end about ethics of publishing using AI after what Avneesh is going to show you. So it's going to freak you out. So what I'm going to do is, before you ask those questions, I'm going to answer that. So I have a little lateral take on this. So we'll discuss that. Of course, you have been part of this 4-part journey. So you get a certificate of participation. I will show you how you can do that. And then finally, we'll close with the vote of thanks. That's the thing in the agenda today. Now, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome a very dear friend of mine, Dr. Avneesh Khare. You were introduced to him earlier, but this is a second introduction to Dr. Avneesh. He's an MD anesthesiology and a specialist in pain management, but he's going to reduce more of our pain in some other area right now. That is the pain of writing a research paper. And he's now a full-time AI expert, extraordinary teacher. There's another thing I realized, and a complete innovator. And this is how I introduced him in the first time. He's one of those crazy people like us, right? Who really wants that innovation to really spark, right? He's been featured a lot of times on Times Square. He's posted stories on this. He's also the top voice on AI in LinkedIn. Anything about AI, he's going to pop up, right? So he's there. He has a Med AI capsule newsletter, which I highly recommend that you subscribe to, because if you want anything about AI, it's there on the news capsule. It's going to be there. It's going to be prominently featured, right? So that you don't need any other source other than that, right? So this is Dr. Avneesh. So Dr. Avneesh, I hand the stage over to you. And Dr. Avneesh is going to tell us about how to write a research paper using AI. And he's going to take the entire workflow behind it. And like I said, we actually burned a little bit of a midnight oil trying to figure this out in a smooth way. So he's going to tell us how we're going to do it. Avneesh.
Thank you, Dr. Om. It's really different kind of platform. Thank you for the kind introduction and for bringing me into this program.
Avneesh, a little bit voice is breaking. We're not able to hear you completely.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there is any disturbance in between, it's fine. It's fine now, right?
Yeah. Little voice is still crackling a little, but I think it's good to go. We can hear you now at least.
Hello?
Yes, we can. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So I was just saying that I would like to thank everyone behind this program. And it's really a great feeling to be second time in the same program on a different module. I have been a learner myself for the last 2 modules, and I think they were excellent in terms of content. And being an educator myself, let me tell you, this is the top-notch content that is out there on AI, and especially in AI in research. And Dr. Om has worked a lot in bringing this together, and I really congratulate him and the entire team. As he said, today we'll go into the meat of what we built this kind of workshop for, and it is going to be writing a research manuscript. Let me just push in a few disclaimers here before I begin. That there are so many methods to do this kind of an activity which we are going to show you. You might be doing it yourself in some other way. You might have been successful. You might have had some frustrations. But believe me, there is no correct way to do it. As Dr. Om said, me and himself have been burning the midnight oil from last 2 days preparing for this. And he has also built such a nice tool. And I will show it to you and how you can solve your citation problem, for example. The first disclaimer, this is just one of the ways. Second disclaimer, this is an evolving field. There are so many tools which are coming up on a daily basis. And even the previous tools are improving on their offering. So I would encourage you to keep on continuously learning. Don't take this as the gospel truth, what we show you today. Keep building on it. And then about the ethics, Dr. Om will talk and we'll discuss upon it. So I'll say this is only to get a draft. So this is not to write your paper. This is to write the first draft of your manuscript. So we'll take it like this. So let me share my screen now and let me take you through the workflow which we'll be following. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my browser?
Not yet, Avneesh. You can just see a blank screen right now.
Okay. So let me
Probably need to
stop
reshare.
sharing and let me reshare. So I'll share my whole screen. So nowadays I'm using actually Comet browser.
Right.
So
We
it
can.
might be there's some
Yes.
issue sharing on Zoom.
Yeah, now we can see.
Yeah,
Now we
so
can see.
you can see. So just ignore the small boxes here and there because I'm
Right.
sharing entire screen. So this is the workflow which we are going to follow today. As I said, there are so many ways to do this thing, but we can only show you one way in this 1 hour, which we think the best way it is right now with the current tools. So I have shared this link in the chat box and maybe Dr. Om can share it with you and we'll share this everything with you after the workshop. So don't worry. If you get this link and you are able to access it, you can do it along with me or you can copy the prompts. But if you're not able to do, I would recommend or suggest, please don't do it with me. Just focus on the process. And then once you get the recording and document and all the prompts, everything links, you can replicate it on your own for your own topic. So we'll go through these steps. You have already seen in the first module how Dr. Om showed you the correct way to do literature review. He showed you so many tools, right from Google Notebook, NM to Perplexity to Gemini and Claude and whatnot. So that is the process which I am assuming that you have already done because that is something which is pre to this process. And sometimes you can do it on the go also if you're in a hurry. But I'm assuming you have done your literature review. You have gone through a few papers. You have broad idea of your topic which you want to write on, and you have got the PDFs. For example, you've got 5 or 6 PDFs or 10 PDFs, whatever number saved in your downloads folder. So after that, what you do, how do you proceed? So this lecture is about the next steps. So the first most important step is to get an outline. Unless you have an outline for something, even if you are building a tool in AI or you are solving a problem, if you have not mapped out the outline or the steps or the workflow, even if you're preparing for a PPT or a lecture, you need to have that outline. So the first step will always be to get an outline for your review article. Now, the tool I will show you and I recommend is Perplexity Pro. I will give you the reason why. And this is a prompt which I have polished over the last week so that you get a response which is useful for you. So you can see how big the prompt is. If you remember my first lecture on prompting, so this is following all those principles and framework. Then once you have an outline, so you have the outline, you have the content of literature like PDFs. You might have, you might not have. Still, there are two ways in step two. So step two, one of the ways, if you already have PDFs, then I will show you two tools again, like ChatGPT and Perplexity Spaces. So I believe why these two, because ChatGPT is widely available and Perplexity Spaces is something now which if you're an Airtel user, so you can get the pro account for Perplexity and you can use it. So this is something similar to Notebook NM, but slightly different. I'll show you how it works. So we'll be using this prompt. This first prompt will be to feed the outline because we have taken the outline, suppose from Perplexity, and then we are using ChatGPT. So ChatGPT doesn't know what is your outline. So we will put this outline priming prompt into ChatGPT. And the next step would be to get your manuscript written. So usually this in our workshop, which we show, this is usually 4 5 steps. But to save time and to make it simple, and now we have better tools, including ChatGPT 5 thinking mode. So we can now compress those steps into a single prompt. So this is the new development. And to compress all these steps, right from outline to writing a manuscript, I have tried to create a custom GPT for you so that you don't have to remember these prompts or access them again and again. You can just go to the custom GPT and it will tell you the steps, like what is the next steps. Okay, let us make the outline. Okay, now let us go upload your PDFs. So for example, I will show you that also. And finally, if you don't have PDFs, so you have now tools like deep research, which is available both in Perplexity and Gemini. You saw that in literature review, but today I will show you how to generate a manuscript from your Perplexity and Gemini. And the biggest pain, which even me and Dr. Om were discussing last 2 3 days, there's a problem in citation because each tool is giving citation in different way. Perplexity and Gemini are very good at citing where they take the thing from, like the sources, but then it's very jumbled and it's not in the proper Vancouver format. For example, if you want to put it in a medical journal, you read in a specific Vancouver format. So we tried everything. We tried so many things. We wanted to make it simple so that you don't have to use something like Zotero or a citation manager. So we came up, Dr. Om came up with a custom GPT. He true problem solver, I would say. And the same night he sent me this link and he gave me a sample conversation. Now what you can do is just generate a manuscript from Perplexity Deep Research or Gemini Deep Research and put it into this chat GPT and it will do the citation work for you. And it works awesome. You have to use the thinking mode to for it to be more effective. But I have tested even it in the non-thinking mode and it works fairly good. And finally, the ethics part and everything like paraphrasing and changing, putting your flavor, manually checking citations, doing plagiarism check, that all comes into step 3. And I hear you that you wanted to get these steps done by AI instead of the above steps. But that is how things are. And AI is getting better at improving the speed in the previous steps. And these steps still you have to do manually. Of course, adding your flavor you have to do manually. Checking citations always recommended because even tools like Gemini and Deep Research have of like minimum kind of an hallucination might be existing, or they might add a citation you don't want. So adding and removing all those things you have to manually do before submitting. And then plagiarism and AI check. There are multiple tools for that. So I have not focused much on this part because there's something which you have to do manually. So today we are going to see how to reduce the time in generating the first draft of your manuscript and to get over that procrastination by using AI. So this just was to give you a brief idea so that you understand what I'm trying to do and I'm trying to show you. And now we will just simply try to proceed along these steps. Now, what I want from you is maybe if you can help me with a topic. I know all of you are endocrinologists and you might have many topics on your mind for review article. If you have any, maybe you can share on the chat and we can take it up from there. Or if you don't have any topic on your mind, then I will choose a topic which I feel would help you. Dr. Om, if you can help me with the chat. Any
Right.
topic?
Yes. So maybe we could go with, I think, yeah, somebody is pyromethazone and heart failure. Okay, that's about long-term withdrawal effects of GLP-1 agonists. These are some topics which people have suggested. You can choose that, or maybe related to your specialty, maybe painful diabetic neuropathy could be a topic.
Okay. So maybe we can. So is there a correlation of painful diabetic neuropathy with any particular drug or medicine?
So how about use of and treatment of painful diabetic neuropathy?
Okay, so let us see what is latest in this field and let us try to write a review article. So let me go to my first step and let me go to Perplexity right away. This is one of my favorite tools now, especially because it is free and I'm using Comet browser. So I'm bad at spellings, just pardon me. Okay, so this is how you see the Perplexity Pro. If you are an Airtel subscriber, highly recommended, go for the Pro version, and this is what you will see. And I have seen something which has been added very recently, which is like very interesting. And these are the 3 tabs: finance, travel, and academic. For us, academic is more useful, and finance from today, they have added the Indian market. So if you're buying a stock, so you can go and analyze. But we will not go and do this because this is something new and I also have not tried. So we'll use the straight right of the box and we can modify and customize it. So let me go to my prompt and let me take this entire prompt. I just copy it So once you get an access to this, you can also do the same thing. You copy and you paste. And then what you have to do is you have to just fill things. So for example, your specialty. So I'm specializing in endocrinology. And
Just to tell the audience, these prompts, we will put it up on technocracy.com in the course space. So you'll be able to copy and use this prompt. But again, the idea is to basically show you how you can do it. Let's see. Also, just focus on the process. The exact prompt will be provided.
Yeah, everything will provide to you. Don't worry. So I have added my specialty. I have added my broad topic. I wanted to suggest some topic titles for me because I cannot write a review article just with this title. I need some kind of a polished title which will be good for a journal. Maybe I can ask for three well-framed specific. So let me take you through the prompt. So you are an expert medical researcher. I am telling Perplexity what it is. Then I am telling what I am. I am a medical professor specializing in this. Now, what is my context? What I am doing? I am writing a review article for an academic journal. If you feel like, you can mention the name of the journal as well. And if you have some kind of instructions from the journal, you can put that also in the prompt. Now I'm telling it to please suggest me three well-framed specifics. So all these descriptors are very important. Academically suitable review article title options. So I'm always asking for options so that I am the one who chooses it. So this is where it becomes a bit ethical because I am having my authority to do it. I'm not taking it as it is coming from the AI. Then I'm giving it some instructions about the title, how it should be. And then I'm asking it to provide a single structured outline for how many words. Some journals have different kind of specifications for word limit. So I will take 1000 for the sake of time and to also show you not so lengthy and not so short an article, maybe an essay. So you can always change this and experiment. So I have asked it to give me clearly numbered sections and subsections and high quality review article, and it starts with an introduction and ends with a conclusion. And I've written all these things, and I have also told to distribute the words between different sections. So you can always customize and change and do whatever. And I have also told it that it is logically ordered and everything. So all these instructions are part of the prompt. I'm giving it context, constraints. So remember my talk from last time. So all these things are incorporated in the prompt. Now, what is important is you have to see here you have the option to choose the model. So I can run this outline in ChatGPT 5. I can run it in Claude. I can run it in Sonar, which is the Perplexity model, or I can simply choose best. But here I can try multiple models. So I can build an outline from one model, then build the same outline from another model and compare and choose which one is best for me. So right now, just to show you, I'll choose best. And here I can choose academic. So I don't want to go to the web and want Perplexity to take any idea. So I can even switch this off also because anyways it is going to search, but I want it to be more specific to academic and academic papers. So to take ideas from previously published articles and all, I will click this on. And what I simply do is I just run this prompt. So you can see how detailed and how big the prompt is. And now it is giving me options. So it is giving me review article title options. So pre-govern in the management of PDN, current evidence, mechanistic insights, and therapeutic efficacy of pregabalin. So all these titles it has given me, it has given me an outline. So even the outline, it has given me a short note what each section should be about. It has divided into subsections, and it has also mentioned the words, which will make it a total count of 100 words. So as you can see, I have got the first step. I have got the titles, and I have got the outline. So now my step one is done. Of course, I can iterate, I can modify, I can refine, I can keep doing this for the entire day. I can keep adjusting, but to save time for now, I'll accept maybe one of the topics. Maybe I'll choose the first topic and I will take this outline. But before that, I want to download a few articles related to the topic. So I just take this. In the meantime, if you have any questions or anything, you can maybe ask. So I'll go and I'll start a new chat and I'll just. So this is just to get a few article PDFs. I'll take 4 or 5 so that I can demonstrate to you what to do in the next step. Okay. So for example, this is one of the papers. So I'm just downloading random papers, but this is a step where you will be applying your brain, you will be applying your understanding of endocrinology and the subject, and to download the specific papers which you should download. Okay. So I'm just downloading right now randomly. So I just need 4-5 papers so that I can show you. So I didn't want to take a topic from my side and then do it, because then you might be having that doubt that, okay, it works for my topic, but not for you. So I just want to show you live and take just 5 PDFs. So I've done 3. I'll take 2 more. So some articles are paid, so access them. So usually the PubMed articles are full articles. So this process you have already done. Okay, I'm just taking because I took a topic from you.
Maybe the guidelines might be free. Yes.
Yes. Which one? The guidelines? It
There
was
was some guideline up. Sorry, yeah.
guidelines in the management. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So this might be free.
Yes. So
And
I
more
have 5.
comprehensive also.
Yeah, I have 5 PDFs. So I'll just show you with 5, but you can do it with 10, 15, however, how many you want. Usually 10 to 15 or up to 20. So I have 4 articles. Let me take one more and then we'll proceed to the next step. And compressing this in 1 hour is really difficult, but we'll finish it within 1 hour. Don't worry. So let me take evidence-based guideline also so that we have some guidelines. So say, so I have 5 PDFs now. And now I go to the next step. I go back to my guideline, this outline, because I'll need it. Now we have done this step. I have got an outline for my review article. Assume I have reviewed it, I have improved it with sequential prompting. I have finalized it and I've tried different models and settings in the same Perplexity Pro. And now I move to step 2. Now in step 2, I have PDFs of my literature reviews. I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll try to do these two sub steps, and we'll see how if we can come up with a first draft of our article. So I'll go to ChatGPT. And now all of you must be having this ChatGPT 5 now, because they have already made it available. And I usually keep it on auto, but you can keep it as you want. But in auto, it will choose what it wants to do. So I'll just take this PDF, this prompt. I'll just copy this prompt. All these prompts you will get, don't worry. You can go through them in detail, and I'll also run you through now. So now I have come to ChatGPT from Perplexity. My outline is in Perplexity. Now ChatGPT doesn't know. So I have to feed my topic, my title, my everything again into ChatGPT as a priming prompt. So again, I will just write it here. I am a specialist specializing in endocrinology. So I am assigning rules. I am telling it what it is and what I am. Then below is the finalized title and outline for my 1000 word review article. 1000 word review article. So I'll just paste my title and outline. So I'll just take my title, for example, from here. Even if it makes gibberish, no sense for a review article, don't worry. We are just trying to show you the process. If you get time of full 1 day, I think you can do this process in a much better way and you can make some good sense out of it. So I have put it. Now, what are my instructions? I have put the outline. You saw that I have given it a, what do you say? I have given it a role and I have given the context, and now I am putting the title and outline, and now I am giving it instructions. So in the instructions, you can see confirm that you have read and fully understood. Do not start drafting. I don't want it to start drafting because I have not yet put the PDFs. Then when drafting begins later, still I want to prime it that what it has to do when it starts drafting. So all this is constraints and context. And finally, I wanted to acknowledge that okay, now it understands the title and outline, and now we should proceed to next step. If this was a custom GPT, I wouldn't have to do all this. I would just have to converse, and I will show you that. But this is something which we are doing with the old method. This is how I give the prompt and see. Now it is giving me understood. I have read the title and outline, noted the exact section order headings and word allocations, and I will follow your instructions precisely when drafting begins. I am ready to proceed when you provide the sources. So it has read the outline, it has read the title, it has understood it. Now it is asking me to upload. It is not asking me, but it expects me to upload some kind of content and a prompt so that it can start drafting. So this is where I go to my next prompt, which is this one. I take it here, and I go back to my ChatGPT. And now what I do is I add my documents which I've downloaded. So these are the articles which I've downloaded. So this might not be comprehensive enough. This might not have all the kind of things which you would like to include in your article. But just to show you the process, so I've just uploaded these and now I'm putting the prompt. So what the prompt says, using the reference material only from all the 5 uploaded PDFs. So why I'm specifying 5? Because sometimes it gives more citations than the number of sources, and that is where a problem gets created. So only I have to tell it again and again that there are 5 uploaded PDFs. And now what it has to do from these 5 PDFs, draft a complete manuscript. I generated in parts also, but then I saw that there's problem in citations. So better to get a complete article. If it is 1000 to 1500 words, it's not a problem. It gives it in one go. So draft the complete manuscript in a formal academic style with inline Vancouver style in-text number citations already embedded. Now instructions, follow the exact section order and the outline. I wanted to follow the exact outline. 3 to 5 key points per section, subsection in logical order. I wanted to also paraphrase, not take it as it is from the papers. Keep wording precise, all these instructions. And I want to keep the total word count close to 1000 because this is my this thing. And then I'm also giving it Vancouver style citations. Then again, I am telling that assign each of the 5 uploaded PDFs a unique number. If you have uploaded 10, make it 10. And I think you can upload up to 20. That is the number, but you have to try. Then I have told numbering must follow Vancouver style in the order of first citation starting from 1. So sometimes it starts from 5, 6, 10. So that creates a problem. So I'm trying to address this in this part of the prompt. And after this, I wanted to provide a Vancouver style bibliography also of the exact number of 5 items. So it will take the citation from the PDF, it will create it in Vancouver style and it will give it to me. This is what is expected and it has worked for me for many times I tried before coming to this class. If it doesn't work, please again go back to my disclaimer. These tools are not perfect. We are just trying to improve them and we are trying to use them to the best of their ability. Sometimes you give a very good prompt, but still you don't get what you desire, then you have to try it again. So I'm trying my best to get you the result within one prompt. I might be successful, I might not be, but let's see, time will tell. So here is what I do. And here maybe I choose a thinking model because this is a prompt which needs a lot of kind of nuanced kind of a thinking. Once I have this prompt complete, so now I will just run the prompt and let's see what happens. So it is thinking. It is reading the documents which I gave it. It has the outline, it has all the title information, it has the PDFs. It now you can see it is clarifying the citation requirement. This all it is doing on itself. It is according to the prompt. It is clarifying the citation approach. So what I'm expecting after this is I get a first draft of my review article with citations, correct citations. Sometimes it doesn't give the citations as numbers, it gives that as PDF links. So when you click on the link, you will land on the PDF from which it has taken the citation. This is a small glitch sometimes which happens, but Dr. Om has built a very nice custom GPT which will show you. You can try to use that also in a similar fashion and get the citations corrected. It is all hit and try and to try to do it in as minimum steps and as minimum time as possible and to do it in a way which you feel is the best. So it takes usually like 50, 60 seconds. This is what I understood from my experiments burning the midnight oil last 2 days. So let's give it some time. I want to show you how it comes out.
Yeah, so I think Avneesh, big credit to you of doing this live because we've done a lot of workshops. We generally do not do live, right? That is what we have learned, I think. But eventually what we realize is that the live is the one which gives you the best impact, right? So I think that is the thing. And now with the speed of all these models becoming so fast, especially GPT-5, I think it is possible now to do live. We remember I did a workshop very early, maybe a year back, where we couldn't do this. It was not possible. In a year, so much has changed.
Yes.
So that's it. And Avneesh, you have a Perplexity Pro subscription, as I saw.
Yes, I have a Perplexity Pro because I'm an Airtel prepaid subscriber. So you can go to the Airtel app and claim benefit. Like you should not leave it.
Right. And you also have a ChatGPT Pro.
Yes. Yeah, I have a ChatGPT Plus, and now I'm thinking of a way to get Gemini in some way, but let's see.
Yeah. So again, to the audience, that your screen may be a little different. Just be careful because these are paid subscriptions. But nowadays, of course, ChatGPT, the OpenAI is quite generous in terms of what they give. Right now, probably it's a time where, when Sam Altman is really fighting with Elon, so we could take big advantage of that, right? So get all of these for free for a while before they start locking it again.
Yeah, and always you can click this get a quick answer. So it switches to the fast model. But I would advise you to, for this step, particularly for this particular prompt, try to go with a thinking model. I think thinking
Right.
is also available for free. Up to a
Yes.
certain number of
Yes.
limits is there, but it is still
Right.
available. So you can do this. And we'll show you a second method like Perplexity and deep research and Gemini deep research, which you can again try to do. So this is only one of the ways. The next 20 minutes, I'll show you the different way, and then I'll hand it to Dr. Om.
Right. And what I feel, Avneesh, we talked about Google. The Google universe is also pretty strong, right? And again, for those interested, Google can actually, it's a very good deal as well because it lives in your Gmail. If you're using a Gmail user, it's a very useful tool, Gemini. Also, it gives you 1 TB of space for free. So a lot
Yes,
of us
and
actually
you
use
can share that 1 TB is
with
shareable.
shareable space. So I think that's the thing. So a lot of us actually require Google Cloud for a lot of our work. That could be a good thing as well.
Yeah, so it is just assigning citation numbers, and I'm keeping fingers crossed that the output comes out. And
otherwise, we had a good conversation. I think that we can do with that.
yeah, but the process will remain same.
Yes.
For those of you, if we don't get the result which we expected, I'll show you a few previous chats. But that is a backup plan. But I hope we'll get it, and you have to follow the same process. I have maybe written 5 drafts from yesterday night. Like even one day writing 5 first drafts of review articles on different topics, different specialities. I think this is itself a big advantage of AI right now. So you can do that. Let's see. So while it does it, I'll just go and I'll just maybe open my custom GPT in another window and just show you. So this is one custom GPT which I built yesterday. And I thought that when I'm having such a sequence of prompts, then why not build it as a custom GPT? And what you have to do in this, simply you have to, it will choose a thinking model again. So it is by this name, and I'll give you the link and everything. So you have to only do step by step and follow what it says. You don't have to apply any of these prompts and all those things. You have to just keep on doing what it tells you. And these prompts are built into the background of this custom GPT. So now it has done and tied variables. I will not begin when it's okay. So please. So it has processed everything. This is what I understand. And now it is going to just spit out the article. So meanwhile, while it does, let me show you previous ones which I did. Okay, so I was writing an article on clinical genomics in endocrinology using similar prompts. So you can see, so this is what I was telling you. I put this prompt first, the outline one, then I put the PDF and this prompt, and then it generated this PDF. So you will notice there's one problem. There's a problem that this citations are as numbers, but then again as links. So I just wanted numbers. So I put it into Dr. Om's custom GPT, which I will show you with Perplexity, and it gave me a complete article like this. So it arranged all the citations and it gave me a final article, which is quite polished and with citations and everything. So say if our
So we'll share the document which Dr. Avneesh has shared. It's there. I will be sharing it on Technopriority, and you will get access to the custom GPTs also. Please feel free to use it. It doesn't cost us anything at all. You can probably, I think it got stuck somewhere.
So I think this is the problem with the live and environment. But
so again,
more time, I'll get a quick
absolutely
using the fast model. So maybe sometimes
the thinking model. Yes, there you go.
Or okay, let me close this. Let me show you on the custom GPT.
Yeah, do the custom GPT and do it fast.
The same thing will go on custom GPT, and it follows the same thing in the background. So you are saved from using these prompts, and this is how you keep learning when you keep doing. I'll just go to this custom GPT and we'll write the same review article. I want to write a review article. This is the starting prompt, and I'll maybe turn it to fast one to just show you the process. So it is asking me now, please share your clinical specialty, broad topic, and target word limit. So I'm an endo, rhino, and then Gabalin. for post
Painful diabetic.
painful diabetic neuropathy, and then I will give a limit of 1000 words. Okay, so now here are 5 precise topics. Now it will give me 5 precise topics. You can see. So I can choose whichever topic I want. So I'll just go with the first one, and then it will generate an outline. Great. So it is telling great. We'll proceed with this topic. This is a 1000 word outline. So same thing is happening, which I did with the prompt. And now do you want me to lock in the outline so we can move? So yes, I want to lock in. Now it will ask me to upload the PDFs, outline logged. Please upload all the PDFs. Now I'll upload my PDF. So this is something like a Jugaad Notebook NM, because Notebook NM doesn't give you citations properly. So we tried to do this thing. So I'll just upload this thing, and I'm uploading the 5 articles which we have done, and I'll just simply upload it, and it will tell me how many articles are there. So it's uploading. Yeah, 2 articles. I think they are quite big because
Little,
the
yes.
guidelines. Yeah. No problem.
That's where the other one also probably got stuck, because there are probably more complex
Maybe.
documents. So the documents were probably didn't analyze the documents properly, and because it's an AI, it wants to do it wants to please you. So
So now you can see I have received 5 PDFs, and it is now giving me the citations in Vancouver format. So these are the 5 citations. Now it is telling me duplicate version of 4. So maybe I have uploaded or downloaded a duplicate version. So it has also identified that. So it will give me 4 citations. Shall I proceed with drafting? So should I use thinking mode for this, or should I?
no, go with the fast one only.
Okay.
It should work with that.
Okay, so let us go with the start drafting. Let us see what it does. Fingers crossed.
There you go. So sometimes when you use the fast mode, so here you can see it is giving
Yes.
the word. So you might have to do one more step, right? So it's saying 340
Yes.
words here, but we didn't ask for it. But a thinking
so
mode
you
will
can-
probably yes,
thinking
would-
mode will give the polished one version,
correct.
and it will remove all these things, and it will also put citations. For example, we have not got inline citations now,
Yeah,
but
so
if I would have used a thinking model, I would have got inline citations, because I tried this with my article before, which I'll show you. So I tried making a article on this one, Med Review Pro. So I'll show you a finished one so that you know how it does. This is a problem when you don't rename your chats and you forget. So that is the problem. So let me see. This is the first one. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yes. So this is how I went. I wanted to write a review article, and I gave it endocrinology, genomics, and endocrinology, and I gave it the word limit. So this is with thinking model. Okay. This I did with thinking model. So they gave me 5 titles, just like it gave me now, and it gave an outline. And then once I logged it, it asked me for the PDFs. Well, then I uploaded the PDFs. And you can also have chat beyond this. Like you can have some iterations, you can have all those things in this custom GPT. And then it received the 5 PDFs, and then it generated a full draft. This is using thinking mode. Now you can see here it has generated using thinking mode, and it has given me this citations. And then what I did is, because it did the same problem which we have faced just now, so I put it in Dr. Ohm's Citation Pro custom GPT, and then it gave me the inline citations also. You can see this one. The same article, it gave me inline citation. So you can use both custom GPTs in combination also. You get the draft generated from the custom GPT which I give you, and then you put it into Dr. Ohm's custom GPT, and you get the citation work done there, because citation is something which is a bit complicated, and I think the AI companies have not solved it till now. We are trying to do some jugaad and try to solve it. The best way is to use Zotero and all, and to do it manually, but that will take a lot of your time. So I hope it is clear till here. I think drafting a manuscript now you can do using ChatGPT and these prompts, or using the custom GPT, which all these links and prompts I will provide you, and then you can try and then give us feedback what you found out, and you can also improve the prompts. So should I move to the next step?
Yes. So just to reiterate, just to make it simple, if you want to do it as a 2-step simple process, or rather a 3-step process, first use Dr. Avneesh's custom GPT, which is made, which will guide you through the entire process step by step. Again, it's a foolproof system. You don't have to do a lot of thinking yourself, but just put the thinking mode on so that it works better. And once you go through that step, see how good it is. If there is problem with citation, which is the specific problem which we discussed a couple of days back before this, where we made the custom GPT specifically for citation. So just copy the entire output and put it in the SAIL-ESI Citation Pro, specially made for this process. Just copy it and paste it, it will do it. So that's how the second.
Yes.
So it's a two or three step process. Very simple.
I'll just show you. I'll show you the custom GPT ESI in action. We'll generate a draft from Perplexity Deep Research and we'll put it into the ChatGPT. That will be our last step. So you will come to know. So whenever there's sometimes these prompts and my custom GPT give you the citation in the first book. And 99% of the time it gives, but now it knows we are doing a webinar which is live and which is with the ESI and endocrinologist. So it will not work. This is how technology is funnily
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. But then 99% of the times I told you I wrote 5 review article drafts just from yesterday night. So it will work, but it doesn't. Then we have given you a backup, which is custom GPT Citation Pro. So I'll just show you a few things using Perplexity. So one is I told you about spaces. So similarly in spaces, what happens is you go to the spaces tab and there's something called you create a new space. And it is nothing but it is like a Google Notebook LM within Perplexity. And here you can add your files. So whatever files we downloaded, 4 or 5 files, you can upload it here. And then you can turn off the web search. And then it becomes just like Notebook LM. It will only search from those 4 or 5 sources which you have given. And it will show only those to you. So I had created a review article just in the morning. I'll just show you to save time because I don't want to. I know Murphy's Law is against me right now. So I gave it this prompt. I gave it the outline, everything. I told it to write a review article and it started generating the review article. You can see genomic technologies in precision endocrinology. And this is how it gave me the article. Only thing again, citation might be a problem. Sometimes it gives, sometimes it doesn't give, but it doesn't give, then don't worry. You have the custom GPT ESI, which we will show you now. Now I want to show you something called deep research. This was not available few months back or even when we used to do our workshops and we had to do the literature review as a separate step. But now what you can do is you can incorporate literature review simultaneously along with drafting in the same step because the tools have got very powerful. In a single prompt, you will get everything. So I use this single prompt and I just put it for our topic. So now I don't have to go to literature review. I don't have to download any PDFs. I don't have to do any of that stuff. And I don't have to worry even about citations. So I'll show you how. I'll just paste the prompt. And one last time, we'll just add this thing just to show you endocrinology. And I'm writing 1,000-word review article. And this is what I want. I'll take it from my previous chat. So maybe I take this. And I take this outline. So why? Because I have to give now everything in a single prompt. Or I cannot give the outline. That is also an option, but I want to maintain my human control as a human in the loop. So that is why I want to do it. So you are an expert. So I've given it an outline and I've given it the prompt. So now let us see what it does. Now I've chosen deep research and I'm choosing academic sources and I will let it go. It takes 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. So it shows 3 minutes, but it finishes within 1-2 minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll check if we got the citations in the correct order. And if not, we will use Dr. Om's custom GPT tool to correct those citations. So this you can use even the article generated by Gemini Deep Research, by ChatGPT with improper citations. This tool does the job very well. So as you can see, it recommends a thinking mode. So I'll show you this one once it gives me the article. So it is doing the literature review in the background. It is choosing all the sources. Now I could have mentioned a few sources in my prompt also. That is also where I can control maybe specific journals, maybe some specific articles. So as you can see, it is doing all those steps. This is deep research. This is not the normal drafting and normal literature review which we do. And this is also available in Gemini. So same thing you have to do, same prompt you have to put into Gemini, deep research, and it will give you, I'll show you how to get it, but you can do that later. So this is Gemini. Once you go to Gemini, there will be a button called deep research here.
Yeah.
So if you click
Right.
on tools, so this is deep research. So once you click this deep research, you just put the prompt which we just put in Perplexity, and it will give a similar kind of article with citations. And that you will put in Dr. Om's custom GPT. So let us see Perplexity. Once it gives me, I just have to copy paste it into this tool. This is SAIL-ESI Citation Pro, and it transforms raw outputs from Perplexity into polished citation ready articles. So you get your first draft. So our main goal of today's class is not to make you write a review article which you can directly submit into a journal. It's only to generate a first draft and save your at least 50-60% of the time which you would have spent writing it. So this is what we do.
And again, to reiterate the back what Avneesh is saying, please get the idea that we're not getting the idea of actually writing the entire article. It isn't just to show you the process. The idea is that in all the things, you're using human in the loop. For example, let's say you're doing a thesis and you're doing the literature review for that. You want you to write maybe 600 words on a particular topic. Or let's say you are writing a review article or you're writing your own original research where you want to write the discussion part and you want to look at some similar studies which have been done. You could use this thing, right? So the idea is to basically use it at strategically at appropriate places. Perhaps generating the whole article should not be your aim. We have some views on that. We'll discuss that. But this is what we are showing is the extent of what is possible. But in your routine use cases, you will be using it selectively in the places where it is appropriate and strategically. Right? What, for
Yeah,
example,
plus,
what
yeah, plus the entire flow which I have shown in 1 hour, this might take you 1 day.
Right.
But you can write a review article in 1 day, which is still very good.
amazing. Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
So we got this article. Now what you will see is I have got citations, but they are in this form. And but in my prompt, you must have seen it will come in the end. It's just writing. So sometimes I have found it doesn't follow the word limit. So it gives you like more than the word limit which you wanted the article, but you can always cut it down. And you will also get a citations list in the end because that I included in my prompt. And also, I believe because I believe, Dr. Om, I think this topic is a bit broad.
Yeah, I think
And maybe a lot of
good
work
chunk
has
of
happened on pregabalin
yes.
around PDL.
Right.
If you use a new topic, for example, AI in endocrinology, you will get a very nice, crisp kind of article immediately. So that is why the conclusion is also so long. And now you can see it is given bibliography. Usually, Perplexity doesn't give you this part, but we have added it in the prompt so that we are able to put this into our this kind of custom ESI, it's ChatGPT by Dr. Om. And you can see there are 107 sources. So I think it will take a lot of time populating these. I'll just go to my.
It's done. It's done. I think
Yeah,
it's done.
it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, 10. So it shows the 10 best ones, which
Yeah.
it's cited in the article. So I think for a review article or an essay, it's quite okay. So I just copy it, copy the entire thing. You don't have to just do anything because this is not a complete thing which you want. This is just part one. Now you go to this custom GPT and you just paste your content here. So the entire article has been pasted along with the bibliography. And what do you say, Dr. Om? Thinking or fast? I think thinking.
Try them. Yeah, do the fast one only, just to
Oh,
show them.
okay,
I
just
think,
to show
like I
some-
said, okay, so you can choose the model. Even if you're not a paid subscriber, you can. Though originally when I made this, I insisted upon thinking more. But even I realized that it could be done without it also. So there you go.
See.
Yeah.
See now
So
all
it
the
started
side.
doing the index. So it's working here as well. So
Yeah. See one, two,
it's our
three,
own
four.
live randomized control trial on that.
So finally, Murphy's law settles. And we got
Right.
something very polished in the end within 1 hour, which is, I think, which is commendable. I think getting to this article within 1 hour from a topic, just an idea in your brain, getting to this draft, I think
Mm.
this is the power of AI. So you can see very nicely it has cited and it has given you all the articles in Vancouver format. Of course, just don't copy and submit this. We never encourage this. This is totally unethical. But then it will always be acting like a first draft for you. So I think this is what I wanted to show you. And the next steps, of course, we can discuss over the, as Dr. Om tells you, always add your own flavor, manually check citations. And these are some of the tools like Quillbot, Grammarly, Notebook NM also. You can go and you can go into the article and see where this line has been taken from. Turnitin, plagiarism checker. These are some tools for checking plagiarism and all. And GPT-00 GPT for checking AI, the percentage of AI content which it is able to detect. So I think this was a brief, I think like it couldn't have been shorter session on writing the manuscript. There's so much more which we could cover, but I think for the interest of time, I'll hand it back to Dr. Om. And I hope you must have at least got the process. If you have even got like the process in your brain, how to proceed with steps. Next, all is all prompts and just tweaking with the tools and just comes with time. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening patiently and going through the glitches with me. And this is how AI is. It is not perfect. It's still an imperfect tool, but when it works, it does wonders. So thank you so much. Back to you, Dr. Om.
Excellent, Dr. Avneesh. We did it. We did it. Whether with
Got
all,
it.
despite the Murphy's Law. So the point being, just to tell you the history, we actually envisioned this, I think exactly a year back, if I remember. We had a workshop on AI. We got more than 1,000 people who, within an hour or two, who signed up for that. We just posted this. And then I think Amit or somebody told me that we put it in one group where it was very notorious for signing up, and we had 1,000 people, which is great. I think a lot of people joined. We did this the whole day. This entire thing, what we did in an hour, we used the whole day for that. That was the power then. Now, of course, we are able to do that less than an hour. So that's what we have reached at the current state. So thank you, Dr. Avneesh. I knew it was possible. So for me, I also knew that only one person could do it, and that's you. So
Thank
thanks.
you. Thank you so much.
That's
It's really a big compliment for me. And I thank you for giving this opportunity because I also tweaked with a lot of tools and played because I never done writing research paper. But because of this workshop, especially I went through the painful process of going through and testing everything. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Avneesh. And just for the few remaining parts, in fact, something very interesting and exciting, very short lectures. I'm not going to go too long into it. I know we are already close to an hour now, but a few things which I think is quite exciting. One, we have created this Google form. We'll be sharing that. It will be there in your email also when you receive it. Just open the link to this just to show you what it is. Yeah. So this is a Google form. What we want is a collaboration. Just try to, again, it's a little bit endo-friendly in a sense because it's Endocrine Society of India. What we want is just want you to fill up this form and see how we can collaborate, right? So I'll share with you some of the ideas for collaboration of what we can potentially do together as a society. So that's one. But again, just go and then if not anything, at least give us a feedback on the entire theory so that we know that we can do better on this. So that's the point as far as the feedback is concerned. Then link I'll share in the chat also. I will put it up on technocracy.com and all the places where, the way in which you reach here, the same places you'll get this form also. So you will be able to access that. Okay. Then, of course, the question is, what are the ways in which you could collaborate? So I've divided to three things. One is pre-research collaboration, during research collaboration, and post-research collaboration. So how we can work together. So for example, let's say pre-research collaboration. So for the first step. So just for an example, let's say somebody wants to take up this project. Please feel free to connect with me or Dr. Avneesh or both of us or any of the other Dr. Shahir or Dr. Atul. For example, this has been often discussed to make a bone age assessment tool, right? So this is again, Dr. Avneesh, these are things which are often been discussed in WhatsApp groups and all that. I'm just bringing it out. We can actually make a bone age assessment tool, AI based, right? Currently, there are tools available which are very expensive, which will cost an arm and a leg and a wrist, pun intended. We can actually make one yourself. The Indian Society, the Endocrine Society of India can actually work together. What it needs is Google Notebook, a teachable machine, which Dr. Shire taught to you beautifully in module number 2. Then, of course, we could have AI-backed disease registries. Again, a dream project of Endocrine Society of India. What simply, just think of it as an idea, You see a patient with acromegaly. You just take the photos of the patient's case sheets, reports, the patient's photograph with permission, of course, and we can make a simple upload system where you just dump everything, right? Very simple, frictionless system, right? Just put it up and AI will do the rest, right? The AI will extract the data, AI will extract the patient details, the photograph, classify everything and put it up in the registry. Right? If you want to get the biggest registry ever for acromegaly or biggest registry for CH or biggest registry for congenital hypothyroidism, nothing better than this, right? Think about it, right? You can do meta-analysis with AI, right? That's a complete 8-part series. We could do that, right? But it's possible. So these are just ideas which I'm sharing with you. Second is during collaboration, during research. So let's say you already started a research or you're already writing a research. You could of course, write a paper with AI, which Dr. Avneesh showed beautifully. You could automate data collection with AI, right? So you can actually, like I said, you could make the process frictionless. So you can just dump in raw data and it can convert it and classify it very nicely, right? So that's a way of making things simple. I'm reading this book called Nudge, collaborated by Daniel Kahneman. I think I have used his words, used Kahneman so many times in my life that we moving in his grave, as they say. But point is that what you've shown is that any system which is friction creates a problem, right? So frictionless system, it's easy, right? So you'd want to do research, you have your case sheets, your papers, your patient documents, etc. You just put it up and you can make that process simple. And very importantly, if you made an AI research tool with AI, you could clinically validate it, right? So this is again what Doctor's AI, which Avneesh is part of, does this. If you made a tool which you require validations, clinical validations, if you are from the industry, or if you're again an innovator, if you made a clinical tool, but you want clinical validation for that, you could get help of Endocrine Society of India and its members to help us in this process. And Doctor's AI also. So that's one. You could do post research work collaboration. And this is where I think I would some specialize within subspecialty or subspecialty would be this is what I would do. For example, you could convert your research into media. Now, since the last few days, you would have seen me posting videos generated by Google Notebook LM, which are outstanding. Okay. I haven't been more excited. We have my CTO, Dr. Archit here. We're just discussing before this meeting how good the Google Notebook LM videos are, right? They are outstanding, right? If you have written a research paper, if you want a wider publicity for research paper, see, trust me, I'm sure nobody from endocrine society is going to like this, or for any society is going to, any academic society is going to like this, but trust me, people don't read, right? Your written research papers, but hardly, except for very strict connoisseurs of your work, or your friends and your teachers and others, collaborators, very few people would have read your paper. The reality is that a lot of people don't read, but people watch videos, people listen to podcasts, and you can convert your paper into a podcast or a video, and you'll get more access to it. In fact, it's a good starter where people will then be interested. Okay, this is a very interesting paper. I want to read more about it. So it could be a good preview, a trailer to your actual work. So this is possible. Again, if you have any of these things you want to get back, just fill the form, get back to me, and we'll see what we can do. You can create applications. Now I'm going to show you some examples of that. You can actually convert, and you heard me talk about this earlier. We had this concept called bench to website. So one thing which happens is that you read a paper also. Let's say you made the effort of reading the research paper, published in Indian Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism. You read this paper, but when you have to practically use this paper, you forget everything about it, right? And you don't even remember the paper or who wrote it. So that's why one good idea is to convert your papers into usable clinical applications, right? Like for PIP4 score and so on. You could have your own Indian PIP4 score. So we have our own scores which you could use, and that will increase the viability and usability of your research. I'll show you an example. And then you could reanalyze your data using AI, right? So if you have already some study where you've done some sort of cross-section study, you could actually you saw what Dr. Atul Tiwari did last time using Orange. Just give your data to him and he'll convert it into a predictive model, a machine learning predictive model. So you have, let's say, data on lymphocytic hypophysitis. You could convert it into a predictive model of whether the patient will respond to steroids or not. So what I'm telling you, just basic ideas of what you could potentially do. Again, the idea is to give you ideas which you could use. I'll show you some examples of that. So we have endocrinology.4.in. This has been my longest project, which has sustained over a period of time. So here we have this called endocrinologist toolkit. Let me show you this. For example, Saba Menon, she has from KEF, they have made this overnight 1 millimeter, so 1 milligram DEXA suppression test, which is then stratified for CKD stages. So we converted this into a small mini application with the due citation, with all due credits to the original paper. So what you do is you enter the creatinine value and it will calculate the EGFR and tell you the cutoff values for DEXA suppression test at that particular creatinine value. Right? This is the gist of the entire paper. And we converted this into a usable tool, right? The other day, one young, bright endocrinologist, I'll not name it, but he reached out to me saying that they actually used one of the tools which was there. Yeah, if it's still there. So he used one of the tools which is there and it turned out to be very useful for him. So The point what I'm trying to make is that you can actually convert your research papers into usable clinical tools, which could be practically more useful. Now comes the big question of ethics of writing articles with AI. Now, I have a very particular viewpoint on this, and my viewpoints may differ, but it's a personal viewpoint. It is not endorsed by Endocrine Society of India. It is not even endorsed by Avneesh. It's a very personal viewpoint, but it's a little radical. It's a viewpoint. But I'll come to that. But for that, a more conventional viewpoint, is it ethical to write articles using AI? The answer is we don't know, right? That's the answer. That's the most honest answer I'll give you because there is no clarity on this. Will journals accept articles written by AI? All journals are now coming up with policies where there is a very specific policy for AI and it differs from journal to journal. So you have to check with your journal what accepts. But New England Journal of Medicine is very clear and categorical that it accepts use of AI tools as long as you declare it, right? So you have to declare it and you have to accept the fact that you used help of AI for making the article. But as long as you have done that, it is acceptable. That's the broad point which is there. So there are journals which are accepting it. There are journals which are having a stiff upper lip over it. That's their choice, right? In future, I think in 1 year's time, I'm not even saying 5 years. In 1 year's time, almost 90% of the articles submitted to any journal will be written by AI with some help of or assistance of AI at some stage, at some level, right? Try to police that, right? Best of luck to you, right? It's not going to happen. There is going to be no research work without AI. Please trust me on this. It's that thing is gone. Having said that, if you do not declare that you use AI, some of these tools actually have AI detectors. So you can actually detect in AI, but there are ways to circumvent it. We have discussed it in length at other workshops. We don't want to discuss it here. This is not the right forum for it. But there are ways to circumvent it. Is it right to circumvent it? I don't know. Again, there are no clear guidelines on this. But you can actually hide it so well that nobody will know that this is written by AI. In fact, my mother will also say that this paper is written by whom, right? We'll be that sure of that, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, well, my mother is professor in microbiology. So she knows what I write, right? So just to give you an example, what I'm trying to say is that there are ways in which that can also be hidden. And you can easily have any tool, even the best of one, and you can actually hide it. If you can't beat it, you join them. That's the ultimate point. You can't beat the use of AI in medical writing work right now or any academic writing work. So might as well, instead of trying to police it, see how you can well strategically use it, and that should be the whole point. But then let me ask you a broader question. So is it plagiarism? It's not plagiarism. So by classical definition, it is not plagiarism. Plagiarism is when I take Avnish's idea and call it my own. Okay? So Avnish has made this beautiful custom GPT. I'll just copy it prompt and say this is mine. That is wrong. That is plagiarism, right? I am not stealing anybody's idea. It is my original idea, but I'm using the help of a tool to polish my idea. That's the only thing. So it's not plagiarism, right? It is not. So that's one. Using AI is a different set of problems. It's not plagiarism. That's first off. Okay, so it will not fit into definition. In fact, any of these tools, if you use any classical plagiarism tool, it will show 0% plagiarism because it is generative AI. It is generating something fresh, new, nothing which is unique. It is very clear about. Okay, so you have to acknowledge the use of AI. In fact, we wrote a paper maybe a year back, where we actually acknowledge this, right? And this is very clear. You can see, I said I used the help of Claude. But the broader point and the radical point which I want to tell you. See, I am a very firm believer that the existing medical publication system is flawed. You just think about it. You are the researcher, you have done the hard work, right? You have done the research. Now you wrote a paper, you send it to a journal. The journal either asks for money, right? You pay, right? And then we publish. Or they will publish an article and ask the reader to pay for it, right? It's your work, right? Somebody is just taking free money out of it. Now, fine, it takes money to run the journal and all that. Not much, but let's assume that there is some cost involved. Then they ask somebody to peer review. The peer reviewer gets no money out of it, right? It's for him also, it's voluntary work, right? So peer reviewer does the hard work of peer reviewing. They send it back to you, you write it again and so on and so on, right? Now, fine, lot of this, and ultimately the article gets published, you are happy, right? Nobody reads the article. Trust me, nobody reads a lot of these academic journals except unless you are writing a paper specifically on that topic, then also probably you'll not read it, you just skim through it, right? Or you use AI to skim through it and you get a citation out of it and put it as a citation. Who is really reading the entire paper? This is the reality. I'm telling you the stark reality of all these things, right? And as we saw in the first lecture itself, and Avneesh says this very often, and I have a modified version of this, garbage in, garbage in, right? Lot of academic publication work is garbage in, garbage out. Trust me. Very few original ideas which come out, right? You see 100 papers and there'll be one original idea. Take JCEM, right? The highest rated endocrinology journal. You go through it's a thick book every month, right? You take any month's publication and you find there are 100 articles, right? Of 50 articles, only 2 or 3 are worth your time. Trust me. And this is the highest rated journal. Think about what happens to other journalists. So the point is original ideas, and on the other hand, every time I go to a conference and on the sidelines of the conference, I'm talking to a young endocrinologist, I'm talking to a senior physician or a senior endocrinologist, a senior doctor, he or she tells me an idea, which I think is brilliant, but it's never been published, right? Neither is it intended to be published. So what I feel is that ideas, innovation, the original concept has value, not the word which is written, with which is written. So a lot of the time, as Avneesh said, we are often have this writer's block or we have that procrastination where I have an idea, but I don't have the time, efforts, or energy to write it. Even if I write it, the process has so much friction. Then I write it, then some editor who has absolutely no knowledge of the topic will reject it or will send it to some peer reviewer who has no idea about what you have written. He rejects it or sends it back with laughable review on that. We'll actually laugh that what the hell has he not even understood this? Why go through that process? What I feel is that academic publication is anyways going to die because now there are different platforms for sharing your ideas, like the social media platforms. Again, whether you like it or not, that's far more popular. If I write something on social media, it gets far more views than the same thing I written as a paper. 100% sure. So that's the reality, right? And in that reality, what I feel is that the value in today's world and in the future, the academician of the future is the one who is able to do original research, who is able to do ground research, who is able to have fresh ideas. Only these things have value. The written word, your citations, your writing style, your way of presenting a diagram has zero value, right? Way of presenting a chart, making a table, writing the citations for the table has zero value in future because AI is going to do better than you, for sure. What AI cannot do is find the human connection, cannot go to a human being and do research, cannot work on the field and do research, cannot think of an idea from your years of experience which you had. This AI cannot replace, right? And it will never do, right? And that's what makes you human. And that is what has value and not this writing process, right? So this is the broad radical idea. So in conclusion, what I'll say is it is not plagiarism. It is a service assistance which you are taking and the tool will evolve. The evolution will reach a stage where there is no way of differentiating whether it's written by AI or whether it is written by Dr. Avneesh or Dr. O. There is no way of finding it, right? So that's the reality, right? Let me then just conclude. So ideas matter and let's not have a but just to show you this picture. I hope it shows up properly. Yeah. Again, I'm not comparing, not bringing politics into it, but just look at the number of publications China has done. Now, see 2009, right? See the jump. See the growth of publications from China. It has surpassed everybody. And what they're doing is meta-analysis, right? And I'm 100% sure there was an AI model which they started using somewhere in the 2010s, right? They are far more advanced than us, right? The thing is, every article written by China, right? They do not speak English, right? They do not encourage speaking of English. So they use some sort of assistant for converting into English paper, but they realized that we could do this and let's increase the publication volume. And you can clearly see the numbers that they have reached, right? In a very short time. In India, if we ourselves pull each other down, we are not going to go up. We need to beat China and we are not in the list. And yeah, we are not in the list, right? So that's the reality. So that's my, right? So let's then not get into more politics of this, but what I'm trying to tell you is that ideas matter, innovation matters, your original thoughts matter, your original work matters, your original hard work of collecting data from the patient matters. Everything else is just a show, right? Let's do real work. That's the ultimate point, and that's the premise of the entire thing. Now, coming to how you can get for all the hard work of listening to me, Avneesh, and et al. How can you get the value to it? I would say how can you get your certificate? Will be a certificate of participation. So it's not a certification of any kind of competence because we're not examining you, but it's a certificate for participation just to so that you have participate just like any other ESI event. So what you need to do is you need to go to technology.com and go to the SAIL-ESI papers. Now, just don't do it today or tomorrow. Wait till Sunday. So I'll suggest you do it on Monday because one of the bug we have in the system is that until everything is uploaded, it will not generate the certificate properly. Second thing is please make sure that your name, yeah, when you're registered for this, make sure the name is correct because the certificate will be generated on the name in which you are registered. If not, please register again so that you get the correct name. Otherwise, the certificate will be generated on that particular person's name or whatever name you have put. Garbage in, garbage out, and we have no control over it. Right. So just make sure your name is correctly put. You just have to go through every step here and just have to go and click complete and continue. In every lesson, you'll have to just put complete and continue. Just have to yeah, this was the so you have all the previous lectures also. And once you go through all these lectures, and including the final point here, just click on complete and continue. And then automatically a pop-up will show up saying that your certificate is ready for download. Every certificate is going to be coded with a unique number. So you can actually use it. It's a usable certificate and you can share it on social media also. So it's something which could be useful to you. But again, I request you to wait till Monday for us to upload everything and make the certificate ready. So please wait for a couple of days for this, or maybe a couple of days. I just will put it on the usual social channels. We have a long weekend, so may not happen on Monday. It'll take a few days, and we'll pass the word with USB also that your certificate could be ready and you could download it. So that's how you'll get your certificate. Time for some questions now. So we'll take some questions and then we'll end this. Again, if you have something to speak, just raise your hand and we'll be allowing you to speak. So I was asked whether we have recording of class 2. Well, that's yes. So all the recordings are there on technopriology.com. Just go there or on Endocrinology India YouTube channel, or you can contact USV for any of these recordings and they also have the drafts of that. Right? Yes. So we have Gauri Shankar. Yes, please go ahead.
Thanks. So how do we generate the figures and graphs? We haven't discussed about that.
Yeah. Are you sure to take that?
Yeah, so I mentioned in the answer also. So figures and graphs and charts, even ChatGPT can do it for you. There was someone in the chat who mentioned they have already published an article and they got everything generated from ChatGPT. But nowadays there are some better tools. One of them being Napkin. So Napkin is something which creates very good infographics. If you go to Google and type napkin.ai, napkin.ai, I think there's some kind of freemium model. You can try it for free. So if you have a text list or kind of a checklist which you want to present as an infographic, just put it there and with a click of a button, it gets converted into a beautiful infographic. That is one. Then there are some, you can go to custom GPT, which is called Data Analyst within ChatGPT, and that also helps you generate some very good diagrams, bar charts, and those trend lines and all. I think what else, tables and all those things are there. So all these things ChatGPT can do. I think for a review article, I think this is all that is needed. And other things you can get from Orange. Don't forget, we showed you Orange in the third
Right.
module.
Yes.
One of the reasons is it creates very beautiful infographics. It's basically called visual data analysis. That is the proof. So I think these all tools you can use.
Yes.
I hope it
Absolutely.
clarifies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One point I wanted to add to Dr. Ohms, that I was listening to you and this thing till another person asked question. There's one book by Austin Kleon. If you guys have not heard about it, just go and read it. It's Steal Like an Artist. So your idea, I mean someone else's idea, plus your idea is equal to your idea. So
Right.
always remember that. And this is how the world has reached till where we are now. Every good book written has been inspired by some kind of a work by a previous artist. And that is how artists build upon top of each other's work. And that is how world progresses. So that interesting book, just go and read it. Your all questions about plagiarism, about taking others' work and improving upon it, all those will be answered.
Great. great book recommendation. Yes, Swapnil, please go ahead and ask the question.
Hi, everyone. It was a wonderful session, so all 4 sessions.
Thank you.
And my question is, I'm from Ayurveda background, and basically we deal with the personalized medicine, and the world is going slowly towards that. So, as I have seen, both of you have prepared a wonderful ChatGPT customized app, and I would like to do a similar kind of app. I need to connect with you, both of you. So please help me.
Yeah, so I think we have different workshops for those as well. I hope you can follow us on one of the social media channels. And we would, so we have the custom GPT which we make, but we will have courses on that as well. But that will be completely separate to this. So this was focused on research, but we have different avenues for learning that also. So we will be putting it up there. But yeah, that's point well taken. And definitely that's something which we would be working towards in future. And we also have, if you had seen him last time, he's a coder himself. So he can actually teach you a little bit of coding also. So these are all advanced concepts intended for a separate workshop or a session, right? There's a lot to learn actually. We're doing different flavors of these workshop, and we can't fathom the amount of things which we can do. Yes. So Sujata Chandrasekharan has said excellent course. Thank you so much, Ji. And yes, Avneesh, can you repeat the name of the book?
Yeah, the name of the book, should I write it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll type it as an answer. So the answer is Stealing Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. So it will answer your questions for social media content creation also, because the way the things work in the academic world, as Dr. Om said, in social media, it's a wild west. And there are some ethics, but the line is like quite fuzzy logic is there. So it will help you in that zone also.
Yes. Has asked about using Gemini AI. Yes, so there is Gemini, there is Quillbot. There are all custom tools. We actually debated whether to discuss this, but what we realize is that a lot of these are paid tools and we haven't used many of them ourselves. So it will be very difficult for us to tell you how good or bad it is. But what we realize over a period of time is that these are all what are known as wrappers. The only wrapper which has lived the test of time is Perplexity. Become the super wrapper. But you can actually use, if you're smart, you can actually use a lot of these existing large language models like ChatGPT and all to do exactly the same thing which Gemini AI does. You can use, suppose it's a packaged version where you'll be charged another maybe $18-20 for that. So if you're ready to pay, great. Quillbot is another one which we recommend. And I think there's some few other tools also. Some of them have now closed down as things evolve. But yes, there are tools available which you can use. And literature search by Gemini versus, I think we had discussed literature search in detail in module 1. So I think we can go and check that out. So what would I use? As of now, I'll use a combination of a lot of these, depending on what kind of research that I am doing. But if I have to do one shot, then I use Gemini Deep Research. That's my current favorite. But you ask me after 1 week, my answer will change. So that's the reality of the thing, right? But as of now, that's what it is, right? It is something we should do. Yes, we had a marathon 4 parts. Thank you so much for all of you for being part of this. Thank you, Dr. Avneesh. Thank you so much for this. Thank you to USP. And we hand it over back to Dr. Ashish to give his closing remarks. And then we finally cross this marathon 4-part session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Lakani sir and Dr. Avneesh Khare sir, for that very insightful and informative session. I'm sure everyone here is living with a great knowledge that they can start applying immediately. And thank you all the participants for your active engagement. And thank you so much. And I wish you a happy Independence Day in advance.
Yes, forgot about that. Happy Independence Day to all of you. And I hope you get independence from boring writing work. So now you're going to be more interesting writing work. So that's the whole idea. And let me end with this. So Tuesday, me and Avneesh connected. And this is exactly, I think, we thought. And we remember there used to be that meme or somebody had posted something very insightful on LinkedIn or some social media that I was supposed to do all the manual labor and I was supposed to do all the creative work. And now AI did all the creative work and I'm left doing manual labor. So that's about citation, when we thought that unless you show them the citation, which is manual labor, which can be done by AI, everything else is waste. So that's why we worked a little hard to bring you a citation sort of system. But yeah, that's the point, right? Right now, AI does the interesting part and we're left with the manual labor. I hope it gets flipped over a period of time. So let me leave you with that parting thought and thank you all and good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Keep learning, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.